god.
It's recording now.
So if you're just coming in on the video, if we're just coming in, this is Kill the Cannon, and that's Matt, and that's Katrina. Say hi, Katrina.
Hi, Katrina.
There
I'm
you
still
go.
Hans.
And that's still Hans.
And I
I'm
still
the
got
other
love for
guy?
the streets.
Yeah.
I'm the other guy this episode.
And yeah, so I mean, if you were listening on the audio before all this, then you're probably wondering why we're doing this again, and it's because Matt forgot to hit record on the video.
We weren't ready yet.
We weren't ready, apparently.
All of us.
Okay.
None of us.
The collective we.
Anyway, though,
Yeah.
where were we?
We were just talking about
No, we're just talking about back pains and
interesting.
car pains.
Things.
So what's wrong
Hi,
with your
video.
car again? You said that it stops accelerating.
Well, this is a new car because I got into another car accident.
What?
At the start of October? Yeah. Like right after a convention, I was going to get smoothies down in Bakersfield because I usually like.
You're in Bakersfield?
Well, I'm into Tehachapi, but
It's pretty close.
yeah, it just works because the person who does shows with me, like, they're in Bakersfield, so it's like, oh, we have to drive up to the Bay anyway. It was Ape, so it just made more sense to drive from Bakersfield to cut an hour out than have them drive down to Tehachapi and then 5 hours up to San Jose. But yeah,
Bakersfield is the worst, though.
No, Fresno is the worst. Let's not forget that.
Clarify. If we have any Fresno listeners, I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Here's my thing, though. Fresno stinks because of all the farms.
this is true.
Bakersfield just smells because it's Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Everyone
the
in
pollution.
Bakersfield
Yeah,
sucks.
it's probably
Yeah,
the pollution. I
true.
mean,
But
you can,
it's-
as soon as you see just driving up into Bakersfield, you can see the effects of the pollution.
Speaking,
Yeah.
of, speaking of
Yeah.
Bakersfield, did you see the show McCrary got at the gate?
Wait, don't tell me. Was it the Story So Far one?
Atreyu
What?
at the gate.
That's weird.
Don't call it a comeback.
It's $25 though.
That's pretty wild.
But that's crazy. Atreyu at the gate.
What's
Yeah.
the gate?
It's like a church.
Oh.
that we used to play at a lot.
yeah.
Keep it metal.
It's pretty small.
Like 7 or 8 years ago, Hans and I were in like yet another band, and we played that place a lot. It's really fucking cool, actually. I mean,
It's great.
It's got a professional sound system, and because it's like kind of a church co-op type thing, they try to cater to the youth and like the youth, not just like, you know, like 16-year-olds or anything like that.
Right.
So they have the music of the bands playing, or at least they did at the time, out of a PA outside while kids were skating at a skate park that they had
Nice.
set up. So I mean, it was pretty nifty. And if it's still like that, that would be crazy, because then you would be skating to Atreyu.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
That's pretty.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty like 2001 right there.
It was like 2007 or 8, I think, when we
But
played
Atreyu,
there.
going outside to skate to Atreyu, it's pretty 2001 right there.
Is it 2000? Anyway. But
Maybe.
so Katrina, go ahead and introduce yourself, by the way, for anybody out there that
rather
might
than
not be.
just this random person sitting in the sofa. They found me on the street because
Yeah, we
my
just
car
pulled her.
broke down.
Who are you
And
again?
You took pity on me. You took pity on me.
Dude, that'd
right.
be so funny if someone just breaks down. Hey, you want to be on a podcast?
I'm going to do that one of these days.
My friends actually up in the Bay asked me that about my friend who works shows with me. They were like, is this like your friend? And I was like, no, I just found, he's a homeless person. Found him on the streets of San Jose.
He didn't
had
have
a really
gas
nice
money, so
haircut,
he's
and I was
working.
like, you can sell my shit. So, but I am a comic artist and illustrator. Currently I'm producing an ongoing series called Warhead, which is about a graffiti artist in London who has a giant acid green atom bomb for a head.
Now, I was wondering, because I actually just touched back up on the books again before this. Now, is it actually his head, or is that a mask? Like, I was kind of wondering.
I can't
Show me a
say.
video.
What are you doing?
There you go. That's way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you... Anyway, yeah. So is it actually his head, or...
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of just wondering while I was reading it. At one point, I had to like go back and read. I was like, wait a minute, because it looked like he cracked his head open, and then it was a dream sequence. So I was like, oh.
Well, the head does crack open, and that is stuff that happens.
Spoiler alert.
Right.
Turns out it's just a septic tank.
The truth comes out.
No,
There you go,
it's-
guys. Story over. You know what happens.
I mean, I thought it was a pretty cool book, but I mean, one of the things that I was really wondering about that I wanted to ask you while I got you here is, how do you go about the process of publishing that book by yourself? I mean, because you write it, you draw it, do you ink it too, correct?
I do everything digital, so
Everything. Yeah. Okay. So how do you go about the process of actually getting all of the issues out, and especially in a timely manner?
Timely is the
Oh.
issue. Because last year I only turned around one, because between clients and then just like car accidents,
Yeah.
kind of slows your roll.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's fun.
hear
But
that.
usually I'll start like I have a really general overarching path of where the story's going to go, and then like smaller sub arcs that are kind of the linchpins and the major turning points, and then all the rest of the stuff that falls underneath that, you know, might happen issue per issue, I kind of make up as I go along. So I'd be like, okay, it's time for thing Zeta to happen, and then you know, I'll kind of sit down and very manically for a day or two write, and then that I'll usually have a rough idea before I start writing it of where it's going to go. And then after that, actually like paneling the thumbnails for each page. I have like a tiny sketchbook. And then I divide it into 4 quadrants that are roughly the shape of a page. And then I'll, you know, do panel thumbnails for each page. But that's usually where I lose my mind. And it's a lot of me like binge watching Steven Universe and just like, then I'll be like, oh, I should probably do a thumbnail or 2. And then I'll be like, I can't do this. It's Steven Universe. And then like,
isn't that just most of the creative process in general though?
Right.
It's like, we'll just be like, oh, we should write this song, but BoJack Horseman still exists.
Yeah.
How's that?
BoJack distracts me from everything.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, I don't even think, like, I've got the tattoo now. Like, it's pretty.
That's it.
It's BoJack. BoJack is life.
He's part of your
All his
life forever.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, it's right there.
Literally. You can't take him off.
I could. I'm not going to.
That would expensive and or painful or both.
Don't recommend that.
Yeah.
How's issue 5 coming along, by the way?
I'm like probably about 5 to 10 pages from being done, like in various stages of like completion. Like I think I have maybe 3 to 4 pages where I haven't done anything and they're still just like pencils with like, you know, paneling on them, but they're like full-size pages. I just have to go in and ink them. But then there are a couple where it's like, okay, I have to shade you, or like I haven't done the background yet, but I've done the cover. You know, that's not putting the horse before the cart or anything. But yeah, so it should be out hopefully like, well, I intend to turn around in the next 3 weeks, which is going to be fun. But mainly it's because I want it out for WonderCon, which is in March. They moved it up a month, which I'm not thrilled about.
No, I bet.
Like,
makes the deadline a little more crucial for you.
For everything, because I usually do like a new run of prints before the convention season, so I'm not like trying to turn around work mid-season where it's like, oh, but I have client works, kind of, you know, madness. But yeah, they try and keep it in line with Easter, and because Easter moves, which I'm not Christian, so I don't understand why Easter moves.
I don't understand Easter myself.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand how Easter could be March 1 year and April the next year. What's up with that?
I don't know. I mean, there's a few holidays that consistently change dates and are actually based around a day.
Depends on if the Pope sees his shadow or not.
I know now. Good.
Yeah, Popog Day. Thank you.
All right.
That determines what day Easter lands on.
I kind
sense.
of want to draw that now. Like, I really do. Like a tiny comic of the
There you
Pope.
go. The story of Easter.
So go ahead and just tell everybody that's listening and watching how they can check out your work, Warhead or otherwise, like website or mail order.
You can go to Warhead Comic, all one word, .tumblr.com. I have a Patreon now, so patreon.com/Warhead, because that wasn't taken yet. Like, it would have just been Warhead Tumblr, but it's like, it's probably taken by somebody that's just blogs pictures of atom bombs. All right.
Probably.
Right,
Tumblr's a weird place. We had that talk last time.
We still don't have Tumblrs, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, as an artist, like, it's a good place to just host, because they have, like, webcomic templates, so it made for me hosting the site affordable and easy, because then I can just upload pages and not have to worry about having a coder go and do the thing.
It's an easy alternative to the website.
Right. So in that sense, it's good.
It's like people who want to go on there and have a blog too. I mean, they have like the blog templates that you can go with.
Right.
Also.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can totally understand where you would come from with that.
The community's weird though.
No, it's super
undeniably.
Weird. Yeah, I mean, it goes all over the place because I mean, you've got extremism in just about every single facet of Tumblr that there is.
Right.
Because I mean, it's like Reddit too, though. I mean, Reddit goes to some dark places that I've never.
Reddit has like weird subwhole culture genres that go down the rabbit hole so far you would never even think this thing exists.
Preteen cocks.
Oh man. So speaking of preteen cocks, I was actually watching this movie yesterday called Happiness. Have you guys ever heard of this movie, Happiness?
Nope.
No? All right. So it came out in 1998, and it's got Philip Seymour Hoffman, rest in peace. And it's got Dylan Baker and Lara Flynn Boyle and John Lovitz for no reason. And
The critic himself.
yeah, the critic, and Molly Shannon. And
Superstar herself.
when you're watching this movie, it kind of goes about with it has like that bright, like Think It's Always Sunny, like that kind of ironic, like do 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 type music. But
That makes everything funny.
it's a really dark movie. I mean, it begins with John Lovitz getting broken up with, telling the girl who breaks up with him that she's complete shit and will be remembered for being shit, and then killing himself.
Damn.
And then it goes about, there's a guy who he's a serial child molester. It's like serial child rapist. And at the same time, he has a son of his own, and his son's like, "Hey Dad, all these people at school are telling me that they've learned how to come. How do you come, Dad?" And
What the fuck?
and the dad's like, "Well, do you want me to show you how?" No. And it's the first time I've been uncomfortable watching a movie, like, ever. Like, I was like, should I turn this off? Like, I feel like I'm watching a part of society I don't want to experience at all in the slightest.
Close your curtains.
Yeah, I've had that.
Yeah,
It's a different movie.
Which movie?
You know, I can't remember the name, but it was like 3 hours of pretty much just rape.
Was it, wait, Irreversible? The one with like the 20-minute uninterrupted rape shot?
No, because I haven't seen that. It was like, it's a British film.
Okay.
And it stars the guy who played Lupin in the Harry Potter films.
We can solve that with a Google. Hans, you're on your
Yeah.
phone. Do this.
I'm looking at guitars.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out later then.
But he rapes like 2 or 3 women, or at least like sexually
3
assaults them. Well, no, but like, he's like clearly like not mentally unsound, as in like he's just unstable. Like he has severe bipolarism or like anxiety or something.
Okay.
Like he's got issues, and it's punctuated by brief bursts of like, the man is extremely intelligent, like quantum theory, but then he just goes down like really dark paths of like, yeah, we're all gonna fucking die, it doesn't fucking matter, kind of like.
So it's like A Beautiful Mind meets Psycho if the murders were rapes.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It's like Matt Damon was really smart and a rapist, and we have to go rescue him in space.
The Martian, Golden Globe winner for Best Comedy.
I watched that.
Did you?
I wanted to
Was it
talk
hilarious?
Was it the best
Warhead,
comedy of the
so-
year?
Well, that doesn't like comedies.
Yeah, but how?
He really was sound checking for his size.
How, like, because I watched the movie and I pretty much had the same gripes everyone else had after watching it. And it's just like, how that movie won a Golden Globe for being best comedy is just like,
It's brilliant.
I
That's
don't
what makes it the best
understand
That was the joke.
Have you seen the video, Matt, that somebody made? It's what if The Martian really was the best comedy, and it's The Martian set to a laugh track. So it's things like, we're going to have to go into space and get him. I mean, so let me ask you this on the positives about that movie, Matt.
Wait.
What did you think about, like, spoiler free talk about it, the ending when he's spinning around up in space?
Iron Manning?
Yeah.
Like,
It's really weird that All Star from Smash Mouth is playing behind it.
like, what did I think about it? Like, what?
Yeah, like that. I thought that was the like standalone. That was the best sequence in the entire film. Because I mean, it's when like the focal point is on him if you're looking at him, but you're seeing in the background space spinning behind him. You know what I'm talking
No,
about?
I get it. It just, that didn't really even stand out for me. Nothing in that movie stood out for me. I'm just like, I kind of like, it was what it was, and just like I didn't feel like that you were saying, and Trump was saying last time, like there was no stakes. I felt
None.
if every piece of drama in that movie would have been slightly more dramatic, it would have been a good movie. Like, oh man, this actually meant something. But it's like, he's a damn scientist. He figured out and solved every goddamn problem. So it's like, what the hell was the point? It's like, okay, this was just a story. It was like,
The absolute possible worst case scenario for him would have been him dying on Mars, which would have definitely been something. But either way, it's just, I don't know, it just wasn't an interesting story. It's kind of hard to make someone care about this one guy who, he's not going to lose. There's no way that NASA's going to let him lose in this scenario, and they set it up pretty well.
Yeah.
And I mean, on one hand, like I've talked to a few people that really liked the positive, like what do they call it? Space positive, I guess. Like the idea of a future where NASA actually gives a shit about harboring its scientific talent.
Everything in the movie besides the plot was great.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
The cinematography, the special effects, even the acting, everything was good, but the plot.
Oh, and the cast is top notch too. I mean,
the cast was awesome.
You've got Jessica Chastain,
Bucky,
Matt Damon,
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, everybody's in that movie, and they're Jeff Daniels too.
Jeff Daniels, he was great.
I love Jeff
everything
Daniels.
was great, but the fucking plot,
but the movie itself,
because I was like, Ridley Scott has this like unique feature of like when you look at it, it looks a certain way, and it's like it looks great. That movie looks fantastic.
Mars looks awesome. Yeah. Like you really feel like he's on Mars. You're like, how the fuck did they do that? Yeah. Like to the point where, did any of you guys ever see the Twitter reactions to The Martian? No. Like people are like, man, that movie's ridiculous. I can't believe it's based on a true story. Like, and it's people that really thought it was, like, to the point where there was a guy that was like, I think he posted SMH, the woman behind me was like, wow, this is a true story. I can't believe it.
Yeah, it's from
like
when Matt Damon went to space.
Wow.
Like the third or fourth time he went to space and we had to rescue his ass.
You know that time we went to Miller's Planet and he was in cryosleep? That's what the story's about.
I remember that like it was yesterday.
Anyways,
so
that's The Martian.
So where's The Martian on your grading scale, Matt?
On my grading scale, 'cause I'm pretty populist, so I don't know. 6.97.
That's really specific.
6.9
or 7. Oh, I thought you were like...
No.
Yeah.
I thought you said 6.9. I was like, how did you figure that?
Like right in between
that. 7, a C.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a C movie. I'd give it that. Did you see The Martian?
No, I will admit I haven't been in the cinema in a very long time.
Did you watch Star Wars?
What?
I know, I'm bad.
Come on.
All right, we're done with this podcast.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and then when we're back, she'll live.
Like it would if the plot was actually good, not even like great, good. It would have been B+.
Yeah, I mean, it looks impressive enough. I don't know. It kind of sucks for me too because I don't like being so harsh on a movie with. I mean, even though it's an adaptation of a book, it's a relatively original story. I mean, it's not a sequel. It's not an adaptation of like a prior existing IP. I mean, like it should have been better than it was. And by all accounts, the book is a lot better. I mean, that's a cliche to go to, but I can't speak for it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot to clap.
That clap?
Yeah, that clap. Whatever.
There you go.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
I'll make it work. I'll just do a lot of editing. Anyways.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
We all believe in you, Matt.
No, you two don't. She probably does, but you two definitely don't.
What are you talking about? We're like your most ardent defenders. Everyone out there is like, Matt's weird, and we're like, no, man.
You two are on top of the list to fight me this year.
Yeah, well, that's out of love,
Okay,
Matt.
please explain this list.
Which list?
The list of people.
I will pull up the list of people.
My first New Year's resolution for 2016 was to fight Matt.
Hold on. Give me one moment. I will find the list.
Keep talking about it, Hans, while he's looking.
A lot of people were like, yeah, you should totally do it. And now everyone has been tweeting like, I'm going to fight Matt Lubick. Like, if I don't get some tacos today, I'm going to beat the shit out of Matt. And it's catching on quickly.
All right. This was the list. Or this is the tweet. People wanting to fight me this year. Hans, Jed, Jesse Banuelos, who, I don't know if you watched another episode, he did a song and he was a guest.
Okay.
Josh Holyfield, who I'm trying to get him on the show soon.
He did another song.
And then I put, who's next? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
And so from that,
Gilbert tweeted yesterday.
From that, Jesse favored and retweeted it. Andrew's like, don't forget me. And then Casey was like, add me to that list too. And then Jordan favorited it. Who? Alonzo?
Someone's gonna fight Matt.
Timmy?
We should get
Rebecca?
Timmy to fight Matt.
Oh, what?
That'd be funny.
Who's this? This is Will?
Fucking
Oh my god, you're still listing off people.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize it had
Matt's
gotten
gonna
like
get
that.
fought.
Hans, Gilbert, Rebecca, all Josh?
You said these people already.
But there are sometimes they favored, sometimes Jesus. It's just like, where did this come from? Why does everyone hate me this year?
It all started with Hans. Hans is a trendsetter, man.
I don't hate you. I just need to fight somebody.
Yeah.
And I see you more often than most people. So true. I'm not gonna fight Jed.
Yeah.
Aren't we gonna have a double fight though? It's gonna be like a double header, me and you, and then who are you? You're gonna fight?
I think I was gonna fight Trent.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember why, but I'm gonna fight Trent. I think so.
We're gonna do it on election night too. Look out for that Kill the Cannon video special election night fights.
That's not until like what, November or something like that.
We got all year to train then. What the hell?
That's true. What are we doing making a fucking podcast then? We need to go out and train. Man.
So that explains that.
Yeah, I kind of get it now because at first I was like, but I don't like. It's not like you're like you don't seem really aggressive. And I'm like, oh, you just want to fight? Okay, you just have all right.
We're actually like the least aggressive people that I know personally.
I get along with everyone I meet, except I can go to one person that I think of that I don't like and he doesn't like me. But that's a story for another day that I'm never going to go into. So, anyways,
well then, so it's not another story for another day.
Story at all.
But I can't think of one person really that I don't get along with.
Fair enough.
Me, that's why I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah. But we're gonna go get lunch. We're probably gonna sit together right after.
Fight you at Del Taco.
At some point, you guys will high five.
Yep.
It's gonna happen.
Probably gonna hug in the near future as well.
Yeah, I'll hug you. I don't know if I'll high five you.
Let's talk about something awesome for a second.
I wanted to talk about Warhead still though.
Oh yeah, we can do that soon.
Yeah,
my apologies.
Because we kind of distracted from that, but
oh no, I'm sure
we do this constantly.
Because like Jed read the first 5 issues. I finished the first issue today. Oh, for 4 issues. My bad.
He's
Watch out.
Inside scoop on issue 5.
Because so Jed had them for a while. He read them, and then I just got them about a week ago, and I actually got to the first issue today. Mm-hmm. I like it. I can't say I really have a big opinion on it because I want to read at least 2 to 3 issues is when I start to form an opinion on a comic. But I'm really interested to see where it's going. I like the characters. The art was cool. The plot was interesting. I was reading. I was like, oh, I want to see where it ends up. So after reading the first issue, I'm really intrigued.
Thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
That's what I'll say about that. That's about as far as I have to say about the first issue.
What's the one character? I think was it St. Paul's that it takes place at, the church that he's at? The bird, the one with the bird head. What's that character's name?
His name is Boss Man. As far as like that's what Adam calls him, is just like Boss Man.
Boss Man.
And like really he hasn't like been identified yet. Even in issue 5, like he doesn't have a name yet.
He should be Father Boss Man.
Father Boss Man.
Hey yo, Boss Man.
Because I like the design a lot. I mean, when I saw it, it really threw me off because I'm looking at him, and even though it's already kind of like a fantastic world without being like, fantasy, it's kind of hard to explain because it's like hard sci-fi meets fantasy in a way, and I don't know, it threw me off even just seeing it. It was just a bird. I was like, it's a bird in like fucking like a pastor's robe. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's hard as fuck.
Right? It was a cool character design. So I mean, kudos to that.
Thank you.
I want to know more about that character.
Can we put it on a shirt?
I might because
hold on. Continue. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh no, it's fine. My friend Ken, who's also an artist, and they have their own comic as well, but when they were reading it and when I posted because I post the pages online as well, and when the Pigeon Priest came up, they were just like, like, oh my god, you what? And I was like, yeah.
Well, I think more importantly, Hans was asking either for the podcast or for the band, can we put it on a shirt?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't see why not.
Dope.
We're gonna make this shirt.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
On video.
For Kill the Cannon.
So that's happening. Can you read what it says out loud when you get back to the microphone?
Nice. Me.
What does that say?
Fuck Timmy.
That's
Fuck
right.
Timmy.
You heard it here first.
Hey, wait, I should do this, huh?
Unless you follow us on Twitter, then you heard it last week.
Yeah, it's true. Or last night.
You want a video exclusive of the shirt we're gonna make?
Can you zoom in on that?
You can see that. That's the
cameraman up in the sky.
It's a picture of Tom Green saying "fuck Timmy."
Yeah. So that'd be cool. That shirt.
Yeah.
And then next shirt. We need him to do something. When are these stickers gonna happen?
I told you already when I come up on money.
Oh yeah, but I have the worst short-term memory, so you're gonna have to say that like 4 more times to me.
So when I come up on money, when I come up on money, when I come up on money, and when I come up on money.
4 more times, not including today.
Not including today? Yeah. All right. I'll figure that out. Yeah. That's a lot of instructions for making you remember something.
What did What is your thoughts on the comic?
I really like it. I want to see where it's going. I mean, the thing about it is too, I mean, with what you were saying, Matt, about how you want to give it a couple more issues to like figure out, like, I know I like the comic already, but I'm still like at a loss for where it's going, but not in a bad way. Like it's kind of like when like we've talked about this on the show a lot, like Morning Glories are lost at first. Like I'm not going into the negative opinions. Shut the fuck up, Matt.
I didn't even say anything. Did I
you don't have
look,
to, man.
There's no audio right there of me talking.
It's setting up a bit of mystery that it's like it seems like it's going to have a fun payoff, especially when he has his dreams or his blackouts. Like the scene, I think it's the second issue when he's up graffitiing and then he falls off. I'm still not even sure if that was a dream or not, but he ended up back at St. Paul's. I remember. So I'm pretty excited for where it's going to go. I just, I mean, again, like it's kind of tough because I know that you do everything 100% yourself.
Yeah.
Like I wish it was coming out at a quicker rate because I want to read more and more of it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, but
Ditto.
you know, like freelance life.
No, totally.
It's just like
Struggling artist. Makes
yeah,
sense.
and I mean, like I'm very like hush hush about plot stuff because it's like that for me. That's the payoff. And,
So,
like,
can you tell us plot stuff?
Well,
Give
like
this to me.
That inside scoop.
my convention assistant constantly, like, they don't know. I think the person who knows the most is probably my brother because like anytime he has to fix my computer and if it ever dies, I'm just like, Alexander, like shit itself, fix it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's like your livelihood right there. So
yeah. And in fact, because I work on a Wacom Cintiq Companion, and it's basically like an oversized iPad, but it's an art tablet by
cool.
Wacom,
Yeah,
and it's
tight.
I can work on when I'm out at conventions. It's amazing. But the first like generation of this device has a factory defect where the AC jack just stops drawing power after a certain amount of time. It's just like, nope, not today.
You're
And, like,
done, son.
yeah, pretty much. And it's beautiful. So I had to send it back, and then when I got the new one in, it was also defective in the sense that like when you, because it's a fully functioning PC. It's not something. It's not like an external monitor tablet that you have to jack into a bigger system.
Yeah.
And it just was stuck in a restart loop.
Oh,
So we had to call Wacom again and be like, hey.
Hey, fix my shit, yo.
Right. And so they're like, oh, we'll send you a new one. It's like, yeah, thank you.
That sounds like a bit of an existentialist nightmare in itself, though, because, I mean, you're sitting there, you're trying to work, and then it's just constantly breaking or rebooting itself.
Right.
So you call them and, like, it's okay, we'll just send you another, and then you get another, and you start working on it, and then it breaks, and it keeps going in the infinite reboot loop. So you send it back, they say, we'll send you another, and then you can't just say no to that because you need that to work. You need that for your livelihood.
Right.
So you have to keep going through this over and over. Maybe you're already dead and you're in hell, because this sounds like a form of hell.
Wait,
And-
so this podcast is taking place in hell?
Yeah.
Yay.
We're all figments
What?
of Katrina's imagination, Matt.
Makes sense. That's why everyone wants to fight me.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that once, if I might be. Is there anything you guys aren't game about discussing on this podcast?
We're down to discuss anything.
What? Wait, what?
Whatever.
Like, this is a media podcast. I mean, whatever. Go
It's
ahead.
kind of
You're going to cut it
Shoot.
out. You
No,
can cut
go
it
ahead,
out.
shoot.
No, we won't cut anything out.
Well, one of the first times I got high, and I don't smoke
Don't talk about
often.
I don't care.
I really don't. Like, the last time I smoked was like September, and before that it was like 3 years. Because when I trip, it's very, very intense. Like, like the first time I smoked, I'd been drinking, so it was just like crossfaded as hell and terrible. And then the first time that I smoked without alcohol, I was with two people I didn't know very well, and they kind of egged me on to smoke more, which you don't do to somebody who's tiny like me and has never smoked pot before.
You really shouldn't do it in general to anybody. I mean, like,
Right. It's just like, and if anything, the first time that I did smoke was in the UK, and it was a spliff with hash. And the guy who was like passing it around, who knew me and knew that I was nervous, was like, "This is all you get. You get one hit. You're done. You're tiny. You've never done. You stop."
and that's good. That's respectable. And it's also a situation that I wouldn't have said no to, because it's smoking hash in the UK. That sounds like an experience to talk about.
Well, and then there were more substances after.
Of course, yeah.
There's a house phone?
I guess so.
I guess there's a house phone still.
Hopefully someone answers it.
Oh, man.
My back is fucked. I'm not getting up.
Oh, I'm not doing this either. This is in an awkward position.
Anyways.
Someone got it.
Yeah. So the first time that I smoked in the States without alcohol, it was
It was lit?
It like a fucking supernova. Like there was a moment in time where I thought I was dead. I legitimately thought I was dead. I was like standing outside of this guy's house, just like staring at the night sky and the mountains, because time felt like it was passing so slowly that the only conclusion I was capable of drawing at the time, and it was going on this intensely for like 4 hours. It was
wow.
I was gone.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
Man.
Yeah. And like,
God damn.
I was like, this is the afterlife. I've died. And I was like really upset for a second that like the afterlife was like slow time with these two motherfuckers who I didn't know very well in this shitty house. But then I was like, oh, well, like, this is the entire world. Just, like, I can get to my house, but it's going to take me a really long time to walk there.
Millenniums.
Right.
So, God damn it, Matt.
That was like 4 in a row.
So your idea of hell basically right then was that it was the entire world, but a little more mundane and weird.
And really slow.
Yeah, and really slow.
Like time, like seconds felt like fucking eternity.
Well, yeah,
like,
things moving really slow as hell in general. I mean, like when you're in the fast lane and somebody's moving slow in front of you.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Then
Yeah.
you flip them off and drive around, right?
Yeah, well, then you try to, and then there's someone already in the slow lane.
Yep.
Damn it.
And you just say it.
Shit.
That's the worst.
So
That's the story of my life right there.
that's just
And I don't get high.
shitty.
When was the
Like,
last...
I've had better experiences since then, but
Yeah.
it's a matter of circumstances and who I'm with.
No,
Yeah.
I get it because
Always
like
is.
the first time I've never smoked. Like I've had edibles. The first time I did it, I ate half a brownie. It didn't hit me. And my friends were like, yeah, just eat the whole thing. You'll be fine.
No.
And this is like the first time ever, and it like freaked me out. Like I was way too high.
Yeah.
Not fun.
No, that'll happen. I mean, especially if you're eating a whole edible for your first time.
Yep.
I know a
Yeah.
few people that have done that, and
And it was a big brownie. It
the
was about
worst.
like that.
Oh my lord, how are
Yeah.
you still alive?
I
not
knocked out
weighing out.
instantly and woke up 3 times throughout the night. Like I would wake up, grab something to eat, go back to sleep.
Oh, okay.
That's like I was like, I'm starving. Why am I so hungry?
And then
Yeah, back to
well,
sleep.
I guess that makes sense why you were so... Man, it's been a really long time since I've gotten high at all. I think the last time that I got high was when I was with Ryan, and we went to this place called the Dahlia House that Hans and I used to party at all the time. And we didn't intend to get high. This was before Ryan started smoking weed. I don't know if I'm supposed to be mum about that or whatever.
Who?
Yeah. So anyway, we went to the Dahlia House, and neither of us smoke weed. And we walk into the house. As soon as we open the door, it's just like you see in movies, like the smoke just comes right out the door.
Like,
We're like,
Snoop
what
Dogg
the
in
fuck
here?
is going on?
That's
Yeah,
how
it
it
was,
always was.
yeah, and it was the first time we'd been there in a while, and it was probably the craziest amount of smoke that we'd ever seen in there. And so we're hanging out, and Ryan and I are just like, I think I'm drinking a beer, and Ryan was in his like straight edge phase, so he's not doing anything. And like we're gradually just like talking and just laughing more and more and just getting goofier and goofier. And finally, like I stop. I'm like, Ryan, I think we're high. And Ryan looks at me and he's like, no. And so we're like, fuck. And then John Michael was there. John Michael's like, well, if you guys are already high, then you might as well get higher. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good idea. And we're just going, like, hanging out. And then it's finally just like, man, maybe we should get higher. And so I, like, Ryan doesn't, but I do. I take a hit of weed. And I'm just like, this was the worst idea. Like, I don't know why I did this. I'm coughing and like going crazy. And I'm like, I'm so fucking high right now.
Coughing makes it worse, doesn't it?
Huh?
Coughing makes it
Yeah.
worse.
And it made it worse and worse. And finally, I couldn't see where anything was in the house because it was so smoky. Like, it was that level of smoke. And Ryan and I, this is when Ryan got into that car accident, didn't have the car for a while.
Oh, when we crashed
Who?
into the...
So we had to walk home, and we're like really high, and Palmdale when you're really high is already weird as it is. And that was the last time I got high. Like there's nothing exciting to that story.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was what, we were 19, I think.
Damn, almost 10 years ago.
Almost
Was
10
it
years
that,
ago.
That long ago, really?
Yeah, 19
Yeah,
or
mine
20.
was
Shit.
5 years ago now. Shit.
The first time I got
2016.
high, I just sat there quietly just thinking. And then I go, oh my God. I understand why people don't remember what they did when they're high.
yeah.
And they're like, why? I'm like, because I feel like I'm dreaming and I never remember my dreams. And everyone's like, whoa.
Whoa.
That kind of reminds me of the first time I did mushrooms. This one actually doesn't have as anticlimactic of an ending. I know I've told you this before. But so we did mushrooms, and like we're sitting there for a while, and I think it was the first time any of us had ever eaten mushrooms at all. So
is that the time with Redondo?
No, that's a good story though too. Thank you. I'll get to that later. We're sitting around and we're kind of bummed out. It's been almost an hour, and we're like, man, nothing.
Don't they take a while to process?
It takes 45 to 70 minutes.
Okay.
Like without it's never usually going to be sooner than 45 minutes, and it's never going to be longer than 70 to 75 minutes.
They have to digest, right?
Yeah, they have to digest is why. I mean, it depends on if you're eating them with a full stomach, empty stomach, all that jazz.
But they have to start breaking down before.
Yeah, like
you,
yeah.
So anyway. Sense. We're all kind of bummed out because it's been close to an hour and nothing's happening. We're like, I guess we got a bad batch. Like, whatever. Like, I guess we're just going to, whatever. So we're just sitting there smoking cigarettes and talking, whatever. It's like, you guys want to go pick up food for everybody? And like, everybody gets all the money together, hands it to my friend Shane and I. It's like, yeah, okay. So Shane grabs a skateboard and like, I'm going to walk. And we walk out the door, and as soon as the door opens, like it coincides with Shane going, "Oh my god!" But he says it in a musical voice, so it's like, "Oh my god!" And like suddenly everything is green outside. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Shane and I are just looking at each other wide-eyed, like, "Dude, what the fuck is happening?" Like the trees are shaking and swaying.
Was he green?
And no, and Shane's whistling, so I get this weird image in my mind, like fucking the trees are just kind of whistling to the.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Shane wasn't green though?
So no, Shane wasn't green. Shane was bright red. And so we're walking. He's holding his skateboard. He's not skating. And we're just looking at the trees. Shane keeps looking at me. He's just like, "Oh my god." He's like, "Have you ever thought about green?" And I started laughing because I didn't know what to say. And he's like, "Seriously?" He's like, "I want you to think about green." And when you say something like that to someone who's tripping for the first time, they're going to think about green. Yeah. So I stopped, and I actually, like, I was walking, I stopped, and I just looked at everything. And I was like, "Oh my god." Like, it just, I don't know how to explain it in words. So you're looking at the color green and you're thinking to yourself that green is both the color of life and the color of poison. So you wonder to yourself, is life poison? And you're going through this thought process
down the rabbit
all
hole.
within like the same,
That's
like
too deep.
10 seconds. And so I look at Shane and he's like, "What are you thinking right now?" And I just told him Del Taco. Yeah. And so he's like, "Okay, yeah, let's do this."
Sauce.
So we walk to Del Taco, and it's the one on 25th and S in Palmdale. We get to Del Taco.
The best Del Taco.
Yeah, and so...
No.
Yes.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Let me finish the story before you get into this argument. So we're going through, and the door's closed, but the drive-thru's still open. We're like, what the fuck are we going to do? And I don't know why I didn't go with Shane, but he's like, "Dude, wait right here. I've got this." And so he has his own story. Maybe one day I'll get him on the show to tell, because he's never told me this part of it. But he went through the drive-thru on his skateboard, but like he went on both, like... He went thinking that was his feet. This is all I know about it. Because I was like, "Dude," I was like, "You're going to hit that curb." And he's like, "I don't care." And he hit the curb and fell off. And then he went back on his skateboard. He ended up coming out with like 100 tacos. It was weird. I don't know where he got that money. But while I'm sitting there waiting, I'm still tripping on the color green. And I'm sitting looking at all of the green and the trees surrounding me and in the sign at Del Taco. And I'm sitting there thinking about the fact that there's green in the Del Taco sign and there's green in the trees. And I'm kind of confused by that because I'm already on this trip about how green is life, green is poison, now green is Del Taco. Is Del Taco poison or is it life? Is it both of them?
Life, homie, what?
So I'm going through all that and I'm thinking about it. And have you guys ever hung out at that Del? I know you have. Have you ever hung out at that Del Taco? They have a constant soundtrack of like 10 songs looping over and over.
25th?
It's like Vanessa Carlton, Backstreet Boys. And
yeah. I've been there.
Okay, I've been to places like that though.
Yeah, so at the time on the soundtrack they had the song. It was "Making My Way Downtown."
They still play that song.
Yeah, so they had that song. And so I'm sitting there and I'm having my thought about all of this. And Shane's taking a really long time in the drive-thru, probably trying to rationalize why they should give a kid on a skateboard food through the drive-thru.
Let alone 100 tacos.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there. This is when I still smoke cigarettes. So I'm smoking cigarettes. I probably went through about like 4 cigarettes in the wait. And I heard that song 4 times and I kept thinking like, what the fuck is going on? And then I'd hear it again. I'm like, what is this? And I started freaking out. Like I was almost on the verge of having like a really bad trip because I was like, am I stuck in an infinite time loop now?
Right.
Because I just went to Del Taco and I'm thinking about the same things over and over. And every time that this song has come on, I'm thinking about does green mean life, or does it mean poison, or does it mean Del Taco? And if so, does it mean all of these things at once?
Dude, these walls are green.
The walls are green. I mean, right now it doesn't affect me. I mean, this is a long remove. This story was like 15 years ago. I was like 13, 14 years old at the time.
Fuck.
And so finally Shane comes out, and like I break out of that cycle, and we decide to head back, and we get over to his house, and we have the thought, like, he stops me. He's just like, wait, Jed. He's like, if we're tripping this hard, how hard is everybody else tripping? And so we're like, oh fuck. And like, we just like kind of just stare at each other for a bit. We open the door really slow, and like shadows kind of creep in. Like the shadows from like inside like creep out at us. We're like, oh, this is fucking sketchy, but whatever. And so we like lean into his house. We don't hear anything. And we're like, hello? And then we hear Zach, and he's like, hey guys, we're in here.
Zach
like,
Burger?
No, different Zach. So we're like,
That's
okay.
his name, Burger?
Yeah.
So we kind of walk in like really sketchy. Like we're like, what's going on here? Everybody's sitting in front of the TV watching Alice in Wonderland with the sound off.
Yes.
Just staring at it. And no, like we're like, hey guys, we got the tacos. Nobody looks at us.
Was it green?
Wow.
We're like, no, it was just Alice in Wonderland. And it was so fucking weird. I just went upstairs and went to sleep. I was like, I can't hang with this.
Wow.
Woke up the next morning, and we were just like, well, that was fun. Let's do that again sometime, guys. Like,
Nice.
But it was, that's basically my experience on mushrooms the very first time. And I hope it wasn't too meandering, but the whole experience felt meandering. So
No, that's interesting because that's probably the most specific recount of a mushroom trip I've ever heard. Because most people are just like my friend Ken basically described it as being kind of like connected to the servos of the universe. Just like a lot of information downloaded.
it is. And every time I've done it since, I couldn't tell you. I just remember that specifically.
Right.
Because Shane and I spent as much time as possible like recounting everything to each other.
Right.
But every time I'd ask him how it was in the drive-thru, he told me he didn't remember.
Wow.
So that's why I don't know that, and maybe he does at this point. So I mean, if you're listening, Shane, I want to hear that story.
Remember that time For Those Who Have Art when Redondo took shrooms and then he was swimming through the forest for like an hour?
It's kind of like that time that he did shrooms at my house, fell into the bush, and said that he had cobwebs in his dick hole.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Wow, that's unfortunate.
good times.
I want to move on. Let's do what everyone's been up to this week.
I'll start with you, Hans.
Yeah, Hans, what have you been doing?
I don't know.
You haven't done shit this
Final
week?
Girls? Was
I
that?
was sick for a minute. Oh
You
yeah,
saw Weezer.
I saw Weezer. Had some tacos. I saw Final Girls, and then the writers of the movie and like some of the cast were there. That was pretty tight.
Nice.
We went to Denny's the other day. And
We had Denny's. That was that same night.
Yeah, Jesse performed at the Brit.
Yes, I guess I did more than I remember.
Yeah.
I got sick.
That's always fun.
Your back's destroyed.
Yeah, my back sucks.
Same.
I feel like there's something.
Weezer? I mean, you don't want to talk about that? Like,
What was that? Jimmy Kimmel. They played like the 3 new songs, and then they played Island in the Sun and Buddy Holly.
Yeah, the Kimmel experience isn't really that exciting if you're going just for the the show that's usually.
Last time I saw them, they played the entire new album.
Yeah, and that's exciting.
So that was cool. But the time before that, when I saw them there, they only played 4 songs also.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss at Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Like when I saw AFI, they played like 12 songs.
Is that just like a thing that you do? Go and see Jimmy Kimmel?
yeah, that's his thing.
Well, because they have free concerts.
Yeah, you go to oneiota.com and they offer free tickets to the concerts that they show on the show. And then you go and you show up and you watch and then you're done. And it's usually more than just the song that airs. It's like anywhere from 2 to 5 songs
like a
or
mini
more.
concert.
yeah.
Okay.
Like Hans and I are seeing Panic at the Disco on the 25th at Kimmel.
I have a
sucks.
friend who will be very jealous about that.
He was saying that it's at 4:45. I want to go to these, but I don't get off work till 6.
Yeah. You're fucked.
Yep.
Yeah. Wait, the Panic at the Disco one's at 4:45?
I think they all are. Well, that's when you like...
Panic at the Disco says 6:30.
Well, they start
Still.
letting people in at like 4:45 or...
Yeah, I don't get off till 6.
Yeah, because they let people in, and then they film the show, and then they film the
Oh, okay.
concert.
It sucks. There's so many good bands playing there, too.
Yeah, all the time. They were actually, One Iota was offering tickets to the World Dog Show. Didn't win them. Really wanted to go. It was hosted by George Lopez, and it was just. I saw
like
some of
Awards.
the. I saw the Snapchat actually of the World Dog
Oh,
Awards.
me too.
and
It was fucking dope.
So
I wish we
fucking
would've gone.
cute. I really wanted to go.
Oh, no.
lit.
I love dogs.
cool.
But, what about you, Matt? What you been up to?
Okay. So, last night and this morning, I started watching that show Luther on Netflix. I watched the first episode, started the second episode today. It was cool. Like, it reminds me a lot like Sherlock, but that's probably because it's a BBC show. Mm-hmm. But
it's because it's British.
It's like the style.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, the style was really similar, like the way it's shot and like the way the plot unfolds. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, this is cool. It's a lot like Sherlock, but it was good. I mean, like I said, with one thing, I don't really have a lot to judge, but it was like, I want to keep watching it. I want to see where it goes. And
well, I mean, a pilot episode is
cool.
by its very design something that you're supposed to judge whether you even want to watch a show.
Yeah,
or
no,
not.
I'm gonna keep watching. I think there's 3 seasons on Netflix. I'm gonna check that out. It's pretty good so far. Okay. I love Idris Elba. He's great.
He's great in everything.
Yeah, he's never bad.
You should watch The Wire because he's amazing on that show.
That's like finish The Wire.
You should finish The Wire.
Also. I got like halfway through the last season and just stopped watching it.
It's on Amazon Prime, which you can and then
I have your Hulu.
Yeah, you could use. Well, it's not on Hulu. It's on Amazon Prime and HBO Go. So
doesn't Hulu have HBO?
No, Hulu has Showtime.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, I did that. I'll look into that, get in The Wire. But and then I started playing Grim Fandango.
How is it?
It's cool, but there's a trophy. Like the hardest trophy before the platinum is to play the whole game with tank controls.
That sounds tough.
That's a sigh, and like so, it's like for people who's watching, it's like you press up and he moves forward, and all the other directions on the D-pad they don't move him; they turn him.
Oh no!
So it's like left and right, turns left and right, and then so you have to turn, you have to hit left and forward at the same time for him to go left.
Turn.
So it's like, well, I'm getting the hang of it, but it's like I want that damn trophy.
I mean, the thing about that though is at the very least it's not an action-oriented game because it's an adventure game.
Yeah, it's just like point and click. You get this, pick this up, talk to this person, go talk to someone else, pick this up over there, go over here.
It's more annoying than difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds it. But
I'm gonna do it. The story's cool so far. It's like about hell and shit.
You should play. If you can come up on the free copy, which I think it might still be free, I'm not sure, the Monkey Island games. It's the same publisher, LucasArts.
Right, yeah. LucasArts.
So, I mean, if you like Grim Fandango, you should give those games a chance.
Yeah, I'm going to platinum Grim Fandango, and I'll let you know. And maybe I'll let you borrow my Vita or something just so you can play it.
That would be really cool, because that's the one LucasArts game I still haven't gotten to play from their adventure heyday.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, that's cool. I started playing Taco Master, too. It's literally... All right, so this is Taco Master. They give you a grill, and you're a Mexican taco maker on a little Mexican cart. You have a grill. You have in the middle of your grill, you have tortillas.
Mexican cart.
You know the little taco carts, whatever. Shut up.
Fucking racist, bro.
Okay, are taco carts not run by Mexican people?
Whatever, man.
So
I'm just trying to state facts here. I'm not trying to be racist.
So here's Matt. And then here's the cliff. And Matt's slowly.
Anyways,
what's that episode of South Park? Like this, cliff of the edge of tomorrow forever or whatever. It's that Star Trek spoof. They're on the bus. It's just teetering.
Anyways, I'm not trying to go racist at all.
Racist Matt.
And so you have your grill, and then you have tortillas, and then you have your like different meats around the tortillas, and then on the side you have like onions and your 2 types of salsa.
Sounds like
Mexican
burger.
onions?
What? Are you trying to put words in my mouth to make it sound racist? Anyway, and so you have that, and then like basically you get orders, and you tap on the order, and it tells you what type of taco you're making with what toppings, and you have to tap all this over, and you have to send it to the order. It's like really easy, and it's like the easiest platinum I hear you can get. And so it's $3, and I'm enjoying this game a lot. It's awesome.
It sounds a lot like speaking of the adventure games from earlier, like Grim Fandango, there's another one from that time period called Space Quest. And Space Quest actually had a mini game called Monolith Burger, and you can actually download that and play it for it's the same. Familiar. It's the same concept as what you're saying, but instead of tacos, it's burgers.
Yeah, so it's like a really cheap to make game. It sounds like just American a matching game. You throw. It's like all Vita touchscreen, so it's really weird, but it's cool. I'm gonna get the platinum on that too. And then I started God of War 3 again. If you have a PlayStation 3, you know what that's about.
Word.
And then I don't know if I've officially decided yet, but as of right now, I've canceled all of my single issues from my poll. So I'm trying to save money.
I can respect that.
And I'm trying to pay off my credit card and trying to adult really hard right now. So I'm just gonna pull trades for a while.
Yeah.
But for my media, that's everything I'm doing in the past week. So yeah,
I have a story with what I'm going to do, so I'm going to cut this over to you
Katrina.
real quick, Katrina.
What are you doing in the past while?
Lord, so much.
We haven't talked to you in like 6 months.
A long time, yeah. Well, I just signed on with a client, or I guess they'd kind of be a collaborator, like literally yesterday for this project called Alter Life. And I think the Twitter's Alter Life Comic, if I'm not mistaken. And it's about this guy named Jake who just, like, it opens up with him kind of just being curmudgeonly and, like, down on his luck. And, like, you know, understandably so, like, terrible job, like, wife and daughter died in a car accident, like, half a year earlier. And, like, he decides he's going to kill himself, but he kind of, like, wusses out, but then, like, I'm adding too many likes into this. A stroller rolls onto the tracks, and so he goes to save the baby, and as he's, like, trying to get out of the inlet of the train, he gets killed, but then he just kind of like opens his eyes standing back on the platform, but there's no baby stroller. And so it's just this kind of like, he realizes that he's incapable of dying, but each time that he is revived, something's different.
What is this? Sorry.
It's called Alter Life comic.
Oh, it's a comic. Okay.
Yeah. And it's I'm the artist working on the project.
Nice.
So
That sounds really interesting.
yeah, they're gonna kickstart it in February. So like, there's
Look
a
out for
Facebook
that.
page.
So it's like every time he dies, it creates like a different universe almost.
Kind of.
Without necessarily dealing yet, at least with the
Right.
ramifications.
I'm not the writer. I don't
Of
know.
course.
I've read the first issue because that's, you know, I'm the illustrator, so I draw the pretty pictures.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting. And I was really, you know, I found the job on, you know, a freelance website, and it seemed interesting, and the guy seemed really genuine. And then when I actually got the script, I was like, oh no, this is good.
Yeah.
This is really good.
I mean, the concept seems like it would really complement your art style really well
Right,
too. So
right.
that's because you've already got like a kind of like dark, gritty, like dreamish style going on
Right,
there. So
right.
mixed with that, like that sounds like it'd be pretty cool. And so you're working on it now. Do you have a date that you're already planning to drop this, or?
I don't know. I know that the Kickstarter is going to be going up in early February. And I know that we're going to be funding pretty much everything through the Kickstarter, but I don't. It's just issue 1 right now, and it's going to be a 32-page issue, so it's not anything that's like.
Is it going to be digital only, or is it going to be printed? Or?
I believe it's being printed. I don't think that he's going to be doing it just digital. As far as I understand, they're wanting it printed.
It would make sense with a Kickstarter in mind too.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Seems kind of cheap to do a Kickstarter for just digital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
Because some people are so anti-digital comics still.
I don't get it.
I love reading digitally.
Yeah. And for me, I mean, as an ex sort of still weeb trash person, I will admit high school was dark days. But for me, like, I was always a real, you know, hardcore gamer growing up. And so through things like Penny Arcade and VG Cats, like webcomics were my jam for a long time. Just getting something weekly or, you know, twice a week. Like, I really love webcomics. It's like not
Twice a week?
There are a couple, like Johnny Wander
Bi-weekly?
updates. Yeah, they update twice a week. Johnny Wander updates twice a week. And then a couple of the ones that I was reading that would update more regularly have gone in a more arty direction. And so they'll update with 10 pages a month, but they're like really long, really beautifully laid out pages. Like Octopus Pie is one of those.
Okay.
And I think Octopus Pie is coming to a close, but they're over like 1,000 pages that this woman's done over like 10 years. And they start off really cartoony and silly, and they're fucking great. But as it goes on, it gets a little bit more serious and sincere, and it's a good transition. It's not just like, all right, emo town. Like, it's really good.
You said that's Octopus Pie?
Octopus Pie, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind to check out.
I want to ask you a question real quick before you continue.
Yeah.
What is your definition of bi-weekly?
For me, bi-weekly means... That's a good question.
Me and Jed have had this argument by ourselves on the show, a couple shows. Like, we can't understand the exact definition.
Because it can mean every other week or twice a week.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the problem too, because this argument's so fully ingrained that it's not even Matt and I arguing with each other anymore.
It's just
it's an argument with the English language.
Yeah, because my mom is an English professor, and she couldn't give us a pinpoint definition.
Yeah, because I think Matt, I don't even remember who felt what, because I've been so confused about this for so long now, but I think, let's just say one of us was thinking that it was every 2 weeks. Like, you know, bi-weekly, every 2 weeks.
I think it's context. Because I just started DMing a D&D campaign, which I love me some D&D. I played D&D for like 4 years straight, like from high school until like junior college and things like that.
I think we had someone on here who played D&D also. I can't remember who it was.
That came up recently.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we'll
continue.
later.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm doing it bi-weekly because it's with one of my partners down in Bakersfield.
What do you mean by that, bi-weekly?
Well, that's the thing, because I'm saying contextually, it's not going to be twice a week. Because if I'm driving down to Bakersfield, I'm already not driving down once a week, or else it'd be once a week. So bi-weekly, the implication is every other week. Whereas with a webcomic, it's a little bit more fluid because it can be twice a week or it can be every other week.
But do you see wherein lies the dilemma there when you really think about that?
Absolutely.
He had to ask you which bi-weekly it was, and that in itself seems problematic of the language.
No, English is a stupid language, but it's also really fun.
Like, it can be fun.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what bi-weekly means to you, every other week?
No, it's contextual.
Okay,
that's
contextual. Okay,
it's everything.
I can agree with that. Actually, that's where I'm at with it. I try not to use bi-weekly if I can avoid it. Like, I'll tell people every 2 weeks or twice a week. But
right.
Like, the term it's a loaded gun of a phrase for me, because when someone says bi-weekly, I want to know what they mean.
Yeah. No, and I'll always clarify. Like, if someone's like bi-weekly, I'm like, what you talking about?
Are we getting this twice a week or twice a month?
Right.
Yeah. Right. So that's...
Yeah. Okay, so continue with what you're doing recently.
Well, I've been working on turning around issue 5, doing work for clients, illustrating covers for another comic called Pet Noir, which...
That sounds awesome.
It is, but not in the way you think.
Okay.
Because when I got hired onto the project, I've never actually told... If they watch this, I'll feel bad talking about it, because when they pitched the script to me, because they approached me, I didn't approach them, to illustrate the cover of the first issue, they explained it to me as like a genetically engineered cat detective in space with opposable thumbs. And I was like,
hold on, bring that.
Cats with opposable thumbs. That's ridiculous.
He's a detective?
Right. And so I thought it was something like Sad Black, which if you've read, Sad Black is like, it's an anthropomorphic comic, but like top shelf, watercolor, gorgeous work. I haven't read it myself. I've seen snippets of it. And the artist and writer who do it are Spanish, but they tailored it for a French audience.
Okay.
And so it's very popular in France and in Europe.
Then what's this one?
This one, I thought it was going to be like that because the main character is he's a Black Panther detective. And so I figured it was going to be very similar to Sad Black.
Does he shoot guns?
No, because in Pet Noir, the comic that I work on, it's literally a cat with opposable thumbs.
It's a cat. He's not
That's a Maine Coon, and it's so adorable. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I was just... At first it threw me because I thought I was going to be illustrating really gritty, and I'm like, oh no, it's a little fluffy Maine Coon kitten. All right, yeah, I'm fine with this. Like, I'm looking at space and stuff. Cool.
And so the cover you drew was like a badass, just like panther, like pouncing, but with thumbs.
That's what I thought it was going to be.
On fire with the cool vest and like a unicorn in the background.
With a cool vest.
A leather vest. Panthers have cool leather vests.
Do they?
Why wouldn't they?
Okay.
Can you beat that?
That's a good. That's a.
I can't. No.
Not. Yeah.
Hans just.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I also watched a playthrough of Oxenfree. If you've heard of that game. Again,
wait.
It's a small dev game.
Is it that black and white game? Mm-mm. Oh, okay.
No. I'd never heard of it. And again, my friend Ken brought it to my attention, and it's a decision-based game, kind of in the same vein as Undertale, but there's no actual...
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of, Undertale.
Yeah, there's no actual, there's no bullet time bits like Undertale has, but everything that happens in Oxenfree, it basically opens up with 3 people on a ferry going to this place called Edwards Island for this... It's almost kind of like a senior prank night, but it's like something the juniors or seniors do. They just have a kegger on this island, and everything, it's dialogue-driven, where... The camera never goes close or cuts in. It's always like pretty far back, almost. Well, no, it's like side scroller. It's like side scroller platforming kind of perspective.
All right, we need to do some jumping. Let's go.
All right. And yeah, everything you play as the main character is a girl named Alex, and you like click on her responses, and depending on that, it drives forward what happens.
So it's kind of like those Telltale adventure games right now. So like The Walking Dead or the Wolf Among Us, the Game of Thrones. Was it Game of Thrones? No, Fable.
Game of Thrones is one.
Oh, there's a Game of Thrones one too. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds. Yeah, I could get behind that.
And it's
Those are cool
interesting.
games.
It's paranormal, like ghosts and stuff.
Oh.
But it's kind of, for me at least, with how this guy who's doing the playthrough, and there's no dialogue. It wasn't like Game Grumps where they're talking over it or something. It was just like, just a playthrough. And for me, I couldn't really make heads or tails of what was actually going on. Like the implication at first, I was like, all right, alternate dimension and demons and shit. But it's more, it's different. And to the point where I wasn't sure what was what. For me, it was really open-ended. But it's something that I hopefully will have the time to like get on Steam and actually play through.
Yeah,
So you're a
cool.
Steam gamer?
I am not really a gamer apart from D&D, but eventually I'm going to get Steam and play.
Gotcha. Steam's
because
cool. You can play everything on Steam.
I know, and I want to play, I finally played, Skullgirls, and I want to play Skullgirls some more. I really want to do a playthrough of
You were telling me
Undertale.
about that,
Yeah, I like the animation in it, and I very drunkenly managed to kill my partner. Like, I was really drunk. I don't know how I did it, but I was very excited when I won, let me tell you what.
It's like when I play Streets of Rage 2 and you play the 2-player mode because the second...
we should get drunk and play Streets of Rage.
Oh, man. We'll do a whole
What are we
special on
doing?
that. So, because when you're playing that, the hit detection actually affects your partner too.
Yeah.
So you'll be in the middle of fighting and you'll be getting your ass kicked by everybody around you, and then your guy playing skate, he's like, hey, I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna save you right now. And then like if you're playing as the big Mexican wrestler character, he has the thing where if you're attacking forward, his elbow hits whoever's backwards.
Oh, nice.
So your guy will just come in trying to save you and you'll just knock his ass out real quick. So
Good job. Good job.
thanks. Yeah, that's Streets of Rage though.
Yeah. So what else? That's it? Or what else you
Yeah,
been
mainly
doing?
just like
Cool.
working, and I had work in a gallery show in LA this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
Or this past weekend. So this weekend, if anything doesn't sell, or if nothing sells, I get to go pick those pieces up on Sunday. So that's fun. But it was a 2001 Space Odyssey show.
Oh.
So
Talk about that for a second,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
Yeah.
so it was just, you did a bunch of pieces just based around 2001?
It's a group show.
Okay.
So I had 2 pieces in the show, and then there were a bunch of other artists. Some I knew, some I didn't. And everyone did pieces. And someone there was this one guy, he had a VR. It's not up now. It was only there for the gallery opening on last Saturday. But it was basically, he had an Oculus Rift, and he designed that circle.
That's
the-
out?
the
How did
ki-
you get that?
The ring, the Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because those aren't out yet.
I don't know if it was an Oculus Rift per se, but it was
Right,
a VR.
okay,
It was
cool.
a VR mask.
Gotcha.
And everyone was just saying it's an Oculus Rift, so I just rolled with it.
No, I was just
wasn't
saying,
sure.
this dude has some money.
Yeah. And then he had, kind of like the headphones you're wearing, padded, insulated,
Yeah, so like studio
studio headphones
stuff.
And then he designed the ring room from the ship that Dave and Frank are on.
Oh,
And
okay, yeah, I know
where,
exactly
with the
what you're talking about.
sleeping pods.
Yeah,
and
the one
stuff.
where they're when they're exercising, they're running around the circle.
Right,
Oh, cool,
right.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's you kind of like walking through it,
What?
and you
That's
can look
cool.
but everything is like the characters, Frank and Dave in the red and yellow suits, they're little Shiba dogs, and everything is dogs, and it's cute as shit. And like I was just
Dogs,
like,
dude.
Some artist from the 2001 show that she's a part of, it's a group art project. 2001 A Space Odyssey.
it's
the
a
movie.
gallery show. About
Someone
them,
someone did a VR recreation of the circular ship that they run around, but the characters are dogs.
What?
Yeah, it was only for the opening night. I was really sad, and there was always a line for it, but it was
course.
really cute.
And that sounds amazing.
yeah.
Dog.
Yo.
Someone
dogs.
made like a camera. It was basically a monolith. Well, it was HAL, but there was a camera in it hooked up to a projector that if whatever was in front of the camera would warp it through the lens and then display it on, the wall
Oh, cool.
behind it. And so people would be lecturing, and then you'd have people come up and just like, while they're listening, just like messing with the camera. And it was like,
Oh, a dog. Oh, cute.
right.
Oh, that's
Cool.
pretty rad.
That's so cool.
Right on.
Thanks for the invite to that.
I put it on the face and booking.
I need to add you on Facebook. Jed.
Fuck, man, I didn't
I
see
need
it.
to add you on Facebook.
Yeah. So
Cool.
that was about it, and just working. Just kind of started a new project with 2 like lesbian plant girls because I felt like it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna segue into doing porn just because it's lucrative and fun, and I don't mind it. So
Oh, right on.
okay.
yeah, Not in like drawing it, just for clarification. Not.
Yeah, you might want to specify.
Yeah.
We're just gonna take that soundbite and just leak it to your fan base.
No, I might want to do porn, so that's cool.
No, everyone on Facebook already knows. I was like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm just down with drawing erotic anything, like drawing pretty much the dirtiest, kinkiest porn if you pay me, and like.
Yeah, I've seen your posts about that.
Yeah, and it's I don't care. So.
No, it's fine.
Right now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add you right now, so I don't miss out any more VR dogs.
Okay.
That'd have been cool to see.
Yeah.
Jed,
so
what's up with you?
Well, the easy things to talk about, I'll get those out of the way first. I saw Daddy's Home in theaters, that Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg movie. No good.
Oh yeah.
No
Is
good.
that the one where he throws a basketball at a cheerleader's head?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's a weird thing to remember it by, but yeah, that is the movie where that happens, and it's not really worth seeing. So there's that. I mean, there's a couple funny parts. Hannibal Buress is really funny in it, but all in all, not that good.
Who's that? Hannibal?
He's like, did you ever see?
So familiar.
Did you see Neighbors? I know you don't like comedies, but
no.
Well, he's a comedian, so I mean,
I know I know the name. I just can't picture the face.
Have you seen
anyways.
Broad City?
No.
I can't think of anything
Doesn't
he's been
matter.
in that
Keep
you would know
going.
him. So anyway, other than that, last night I saw Flirting with Disaster. Have any of you guys ever seen that one?
Nope.
It's David O. Russell, the guy who did Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle. He had this line of films before he did The Fighter that were more screwball comedy-esque, like, you know, of the 30s and 40s, like that style of comedy.
Yeah.
Flirting with Disaster. It's Ben Stiller, Patricia Arquette, Mary Tyler Moore,
I feel
Lily
like I've
Tomlin.
seen adverts for it.
Maybe.
'Cause it's ringing a bell in
Came
that
out
sense.
way back in 96, so I
Okay.
mean, like, yeah, 20 years ago now. Wow. It's on Netflix. You guys should check it out. It's really, really funny.
Okay.
And the other thing that I've been up to, this is the story I was talking about. I just wanted to get those two things out. A continuation of what I've been talking about. I guess is the third part and finale of my Crest Theater experience.
What's better, hit the home run?
I don't know what you mean by that.
The third act, man. You got to bring it home.
No, I didn't. I'm confused. Okay, so like
Sports.
brief touch up on everything about this story. So I was here when I got an email a couple of weeks ago.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah, 2 episodes ago, I got this email while we were sitting here saying, hey, you know, thank you for applying to the programmer position here at the Crest Theater on Westwood. You should come in and we'll have a conversation. And I was really stoked at the time, and even after, because after the episode was done, I kept thinking to myself, like, wow, that's really cool. I mean, I don't know exactly what to expect. I was just told meet at this time. So I brought a resume, I dressed nice, I went in, and the lady shook my hand. Her name was Wheezy, and she's like, all right, tell me something about yourself. And then she kind of like waved off my resume. I was like, oh, okay. So I just told her, like, oh, I'm Jed.
Wheezy.
I'm really into movies, blah, blah, just like usual type of stuff.
Yeah.
And there was already someone sitting when I went in there on the couch opposite me. So I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, so is this a group interview?
Yeah.
And right away, instead of asking more, she's like, okay, so I have this idea. What do you guys think of it? And she's telling me that, you know, because David Bowie had just passed away.
Right.
She's like, I want to do a David Bowie tribute this weekend. What do you guys think about that? And the guy and I kind of look at each other. We're like, well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of cool, but isn't that kind of soon? She's like, well, we got to strike while the iron's hot. And I'm like, okay, sure. So we start talking and planning this out. And I keep thinking to myself, like, what am I exactly doing here?
Right.
Like, so this is all happening. And then a third guy comes up, and it's actually a teacher at the school I go to, College of the Canyons. And so we're all like sitting there, and every time someone walks in, they're like pitching themselves like they would in a job interview, like, yeah, you know, I'm badass and this and that and blah, blah, blah. I wish that's really how you talk to job interviews. But
I'm badass.
Swag lit.
But slowly as it's going along, like, she keeps walking us to different parts of the theater and showing us around. We'll talk privately, and we're kind of like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is this an interview or what's going on? And so fast forward past all of that, she tells us to come back that Saturday. This was on a Thursday. She's like, come back this Saturday. That's when the show's going to be. And it eventually got decided to be like a screening of a live David Bowie concert from back in 87 or so, Labyrinth, and then a live David Bowie cover band before, which is actually a lot cooler in theory than in practice. But so I get to the show, and right away I'm confused because nobody's there. And some of the employees show up and I knock and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Where's Wheezy at? They're like, oh, she'll be here soon. Who are you? And then I don't know exactly how to explain it. So I'm like,
right.
I was like, I guess I'm
like,
here for the show.
Right.
And like, I try to explain like the situation and they're like, okay, well, Wheezy will be here later. And I'm like, well, fuck, like, I don't know. So she shows up and I'm like, hey, Wheezy, what's going on? And she's like, oh, hey. And then just walks inside. And me and the other guy are kind of staring at each other like, what the fuck are we going to do? Yeah. And so he texts her because he's been like privately texting her the whole time anyway. He's like, hey, so Jed's here. What do you want to do? And she's like, give him a task to do. And so he's like, I don't really know what she means by this.
Yeah.
He's like, so I guess let's just stand out here and try to get people to come inside. And so we try and we get it. We get a couple people to come inside and like, that's cool. There's only maybe like 40 or 50 people there, which is a decent turnout for a 2-day, notice on anything really.
Right.
But it's not good enough for a theater that seats 300 plus people. So it's kind of empty in there. And so after the movie, I'm like, oh yeah, like 40 people. That's not bad for something like this. And she's just like, yeah, well, it's not good enough, and walks away. And I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on? And like, I never see her the rest of the night. And as I'm leaving, I'm kind of looking around like, where the hell did Wheezy go? And I'm trying to call her and she's not answering. And then I leave and I haven't heard from her since. So I've been confused for the past few days because I'm like, what happened exactly? Like it clearly wasn't a job interview, but it also was something. And I don't know what it was.
It wasn't nothing.
Yeah, like something happened and I lived through that.
I mean, she seems to be mad, but then she didn't really give you any instruction
at all.
Right.
Let alone a clear instruction. So it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
what?
I'm confused about it. And on one hand, I got to see Labyrinth for free in a theater, a really nice theater at that. The Crest is the nicest fucking theater I've ever been to. But on the other hand... I have no fucking idea what just happened to me. Like, I'm confused about that entire situation because I have literally nothing to say or show for it.
You know what would have been the coolest thing if you got this job? You could drop so many different nicknames for Wheezy. Weezer, Wheezing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's so many possibilities that would have, but oh well. So that was weird. And I guess no disrespect on my end towards...
Send her an email. Just like, hey, I'm just... following up on you, doing.
Yeah, I'm thinking of. I'm
email
going
or
to.
text. I think.
Yeah, it's just a weird situation for me because I have no idea what I was even doing there.
Yeah.
She told you to come, so you showed up.
Yeah, and then there was nothing to do because she has a paid staff of people that actually work at the theater.
Yeah,
there were 3 people working the concession stand. There was a guy at the door, and there was a ticket taker. There was a projectionist. There was her, and there was somebody cleaning up messes. So there was an entire staff of people.
Show up and be like, hey, I just wanted to talk to you, see what happened the other day and what's going on.
That one's tough because if she's not there all the time,
I need some answers. And I need them
now.
Or talk to someone that works here. Be like, hey, what's the deal? Have you heard anything? Like, what do you do? How did you go through this process? Like,
no, because see, I'm confused about it because I guess I don't care anymore because that was weird. Like that was such a weird situation that I'm kind of turned off by the whole thing.
I'm turned off also.
Yeah, you sound turned off.
Hans, you're here? Where did you come from?
He's been kind of just quietly on his phone.
Don't call it a comeback.
That's my line.
So yeah, that's my weird story. Like, sorry, like there's not many laughs to be had with that. Like, it's just
no, it's
that's
interesting.
Just, it was just a story.
I thought I would follow up because this is like that was I did that 2 weeks in a row.
The culmination of the trilogy.
Yeah.
So there's the ending. I mean, and much like the original Star Wars trilogy, it kind of ends with a whimper and not a bang.
It's a lot like Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Wayne's World, good stuff.
And Wheezy's the Borg, right? Yeah.
What?
No. Okay.
He's actually watched Next Generation.
No one's seen.
You had
Star Trek?
You had to follow up on the joke.
No one watches Star Trek. What the
Apparently
hell?
you don't watch Wayne's World, so don't give me shit.
I've seen Wayne's World.
Clearly you haven't.
Damn.
You haven't seen Star Trek. Anyways, cool.
I guess that about wraps up
was...
my part of it, though. I mean, I haven't really been up to too much the last week and a half.
At the Drive-In is back.
At the Drive-In is back. I've been wanting to talk about that since the start of this episode.
Fuck yes.
I'm very excited about that. That's March 23rd, right? At the Fonda.
The Fonda.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
And they're putting out an album allegedly.
I believe it.
They put up like a 30-second teaser,
and it sounds great.
Cool.
Sounds like classic At the Drive-In. So that should be pretty cool. Other than that, did you guys see the trailer I just showed Hans to Keanu, the new Key and Peele movie. You seen that trailer?
It looks funny as fuck.
It looks really funny. It's Key and Peele, and they play a couple guys whose cat get kidnapped by some gangsters, and they have to get the cat back. And in the process, because they're both like really just like whitewashed like black dudes, they have to pretend to be gangster, and they're like, well, how do we do that? And so they just start dropping the N-word, and they're just like, oh, you went there. It looks funny. I'm pretty excited. That comes out in March also. March is going to be tight.
Looks good.
It's a good month.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. What else? Yeah. Anything?
I think we're good.
You said, and then...
I was going to say, because me and Hans were talking about going to see Spectre. I was going to say.
What, today?
Dollar Theater.
Yeah, Dollar Theater.
Maybe.
Today or tomorrow or something.
I don't know if I can sit for that long.
Yeah. You've been sitting for an
this
hour.
Is a couch.
He had to get up and walk at one point.
Yes. But anyways.
I don't know.
That's just what I thought of, so that's what the O was.
No, I feel
so
like
cool. So
I guess that about wraps it up. I mean, is there anything? You got any closing statements? Once again, your website.
Yeah, promote your stuff, your links, where people find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. Ksanzo is Ksanzo.
K_Sanzo, right?
State your name real quick.
Katrina E. Kustmann.
There you go.
Kunstmann. Ksanzo, no _ hyphen is my Tumblr. warheadcomic.tumblr.com. You can also just type in warheadcomic with a K.com and it'll redirect to the Tumblr. I think that's about it. And then the Patreon.
Instagram.
Or Patreon. Instagram is Ksanzo. Everything's either Ksanzo or Warhead Comic, one of those variations.
Cool.
So if you just search Warhead Comic, you could probably find you.
Probably, yeah. Warhead Comic or Ksanzo. You'll find me.
Right on.
Cool.
Dope. Good stuff. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. This has been a long time coming. We met you at that convention.
Back in September.
We surprisingly haven't talked about it all in the duration.
Well, I think everyone who went to that convention is genuinely over that convention.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
We're doing another one this year.
Yeah, they're doing another one this year. We'll be there. No, I don't know if we'll be there. We might be there.
We'll probably be there.
I'll probably be there.
Yeah, I'll probably be there. Because I did pretty well at that show.
Yeah, we did.
I bought that Ninja Turtle from you,
Yeah.
And I got that Chaplin Keaton print from you, too.
The sketch? Yeah.
So
go buy stuff from Katrina. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got
Make sure I can
we all
eat
bought
food
stuff from
sometimes.
I got a Saga one and a Breaking Bad one.
Cool.
I mean, that convention could have been better, but it could have been worse.
Yeah.
I'll put it the fairest way I can. I think that if they do it again this year, it'll be better.
I think so too.
Actually, that reminds me. That girl wanted to be on it. Remember, she emailed me.
I was just going to talk about that off camera.
What was her name?
I got it. Hold on.
Matt's got it.
We'll talk about that after that.
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm the Hydra 55. All my shit. There you go. Find me.
That's
all his shit.
Twitter, Instagram, not Facebook. That's my name.
Matt is the anti-enthusiast today.
I just don't feel like doing shit.
Look at him. Wow.
Because it's like I've been working so much and I'm like tired and like I just want to play video games and like I'm busy on my days off. I haven't had a day off just to fucking do nothing in like a month. So I'm just like,
wow.
I've been there.
That's about that's life though.
I know. So I'm just like, I just want to stay at home and play video games and not do shit for one day.
Wow.
Then why are you trying to get me to go to the movies?
Because I want to see the movie. I'm just gonna download it. Fuck it.
I'll watch it here if I don't have to move because if my back doesn't hurt right here.
Anyways, Hans, what's your shit?
Twitter @this is Hans. Instagram is cool Dr. Money. Oh, that's what happened this week.
Oh my god!
I won that Cannibal the Musical record.
Yeah, you did.
Heyo!
I'm pretty stoked about it.
Burr, 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 burr.
Anyway, cool Dr. Money. And then
cool Dr. Money.
Facebook. It's Facebook. My phone number is 661-317-7117. Text me.
Well, Jed,
send dick pics.
It's cracking.
Your Instagram is the Darkwing.
It's Darkwing _dunk.
I saw an article today that they're not bringing it back.
Yeah, it was a hoax.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck.
What? Why? Okay, I didn't know it was coming back.
Oh yeah, it was like coming back, but
was it?
It's not yet.
I never heard about that.
So
that's cool. Well, Darkwing Dunk, and then Twitter, it's the Jed Gentry, and then there's
Weezer.
And then there's Facebook, and since what Hans is doing the phone number, I'm going to do my email. If you want to email me, it's boxcar_booking@yahoo.com. email correspondence very appreciated.
My email is
no.
Stop. You trying to one up me?
If you want to email the band, God,
I have a Palm Pilot.
If you want to email the show,
I drive a Dodge Stratus.
If you want to email the show, if you want to be on the show, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, email the show at killthecannon.
You can PayPal me at hans'slegend@yahoo.com. I charge
if you're watching this, you know where to find it already, but it's going to be youtube.com/killthecannon, and all of our stuff is at killthecannon for the show.
That is true. You can find
this is on Podbean and iTunes. So
we're at my house.
Yeah, this is Hans's house.
What's your address? Doesn't matter.
4543 Paseo Bravo.
Damn, he went there. Come visit us.
California 93551.
Damn.
Every Thursday at 2 p.m.
Bring tacos.
You'll now start having
tacos.
studio
If you don't
audience. So
bring
sit
tacos-
right there.
Oh, we should get a studio audience.
Instead of paying to get in, you have to bring tacos.
That's a
Or you could just
that's a
come
viable
in.
just walk
trade.
in. I mean,
yeah.
it's nice
Stop,
enough.
gotta lock doors.
It'd be like that time that we had stupid ass Michael on the show. Remember?
Yeah.
And he was just,
We did not acknowledge him the entire time. It was great.
it's good. We don't acknowledge him now.
Okay, cool.
So anyway,
So, thanks for listening, everybody.
yeah. Bye.
Mecca like a high, Mecca hiney ho.
Wait.